What's up, everyone? It's Friday, May 22nd. Welcome to episode 13 of the Ginger and the Beard podcast. Hello, everyone. It's AJ, aka the Ginger.
And Reese, a.k.a. The Beard.
And if you're just tuning into the stream or you're listening to the recorded version of the show, we just got done playing Jackbox Party Pack 6 with viewers for the second week in a row. If you want to check out how that went, see the recording on Twitch or YouTube, and make sure you check us out live next week as we pick another game to stream.
Yes, sir. That was more fun than last week. So, guys, make sure you check that out. But now it's time we move into the podcast portion of the show, and there is some exciting stuff to talk about. But before we dive in, AJ, how was your week?
It was a long one. It was another long week, but we made it through. And I took the day off today, actually, because we traveled home and we're in our hometown of Buena Vista, nice. Visiting with our family for the first time since this crazy COVID outbreak. So it's definitely kind of nice to see some people in the flesh and visit with everyone. But as you guys can see here, I'm not in my typical studio space and not with my typical gear, but we made it work. I'm actually surprised. I'm using a iPhone hotspot right now for my internet connection. So if my video looks a little off, that could be the explanation, but we made it work. And I'm actually excited to be here, man. Excited to talk to you.
Nice, man. That's awesome. You gotta love technology, right? We're advocates of technology, and here it is working for the better, just for us.
That's right. That's right. How about you, man? How was your week?
Another long week. You know, just heavy on the work schedule. Not really anything new, I guess. We're planting some plants in the backyard, which I think is really cool.
That's
my
exciting.
wife is kind of taking the lead on a lot of that stuff. So we're going to try and plant some potatoes out front. We're going to try and plant some herbs, a bunch of different fruit out back. So that's pretty exciting. Depending on how the weather goes, we might actually be taking a drive out to it's like an hour-long drive out to the mountain. There's Shenandoah Mountains not too far away from us. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, just have a picnic or something, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But
Some-
yeah, man, besides that, just a
see
long
some
week. I'm
things.
happy it's over. It's a long weekend, so glad to be here
man,
finally.
I actually literally forget that it's a long weekend like every day.
Yeah.
I forget that we have Monday off of work. You have Monday off, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I got Monday off.
Yeah.
I didn't take today off, though. I was so busy. I had to get some stuff done, but it is what it is. We're here.
That's right.
Are
Yes,
you guys
sir.
Are you guys staying at the family's house all weekend, or just a day or two,
Yeah.
or how's that?
No, we'll be here until Monday. Yeah, it's going to be a nice long weekend. We actually haven't seen our family since early March or the middle of March. So it's been good. We've done a lot of visiting today, and also Shayna's sister is in town with their baby who's like 7 months old, and that's like the second time we've gotten to see her just because of all this craziness happening. So that's been really cool. And yeah, we're just gonna soak up some family time before our week starts over again on Tuesday, man.
Just enjoy it, man. That sounds like
That's
it
right.
sounds amazing. It's good that you have an opportunity to see your family get caught up and whatnot. I haven't seen mine in since all of this really, so it's been a while. It'll be nice to get back up to see my family though. But anyway, man, enjoy the weekend. Sounds like you deserve it.
Yeah.
I know you've been going through a lot, so
Yes, it's been stressful, but I've got something tasty here beside me that's going to help me unwind. But before I get into mine, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
this here is it's called Suncrush. It's a tangerine ale. Labeled the style is labeled as a fruited golden ale. I have drank this already, and I do like it. So let me go ahead and pour it out, and then I'll give you guys a quick little rundown. Oh my gosh. I guess I must have shook it up when I was coming back upstairs.
Please,
Let's
no
just-
more beer accidents
no,
on this show.
No, that's what I was just thinking. No, none of that. No, none of that stuff. So here we go. It's just a nice little ale. The lighting here, I guess I could do better on the lighting, but kind of
Looks good.
nice. I don't know. Like it almost kind of looks like a wheat beer, actually.
It does.
You can't see through it. It's kind of murky a little bit, but anyway. So it's a cold conditioned sparkling ale, which you don't really see
Sounds
me drinking
fancy.
too much of, but I feel like I needed something refreshing. So it's made with crushed fruit, matcha green tea, believe it or not. It's also gluten reduced and all natural. So here's to health, folks. It's got the smell of a slightly overripe tangerine. It's a little bit more bitter than I'm used to. It's 30 IBUs. I'm used to, like
Whoa.
0 pretty much.
Yeah. You're up there in IPA territory. Dude, I cannot
Yeah, I know.
talk today.
It's all right, dude. It's 4.2 ABV, so nice and easy, easy to drink on a hot summer day. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, let me do my sip real quick.
Go for it, man. Anything that's called Suncrush just makes me think of a beautiful sunny day. The more beers I drink, there's definitely an occasion for every beer. Like after you've tasted it the first time, you're like, okay, I'm gonna save that one for this type of a day. Like I've had this beer. It's a oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of it now. It's called Island Quarantina. It was obviously a pun, a nice play on words there for the quarantine, but it's so fruity and it's extremely fruity and it's like almost hard to drink unless it's like really hot outside.
I remember you drank that like 3 or 4 episodes ago. Yeah, I remember you showing me that.
So I've had it. I've had a couple cans of it just sitting in the fridge, just waiting for the right moment to arise. And finally, we've got some beautiful weather.
Nice.
And so, I'll be finishing those bad boys off soon.
Get a chance to relax. That's what's up, man.
Yes.
What about you? What are you drinking tonight?
All right, man. So first of all, number one, I'm gonna back away from my keyboard this week.
Yeah. Take a step back.
If you guys didn't see last week's episode, I actually put a clip up on Instagram. I'm not sure if Reese, you've even seen that yet.
I did see it. It was funny because you did like you like looped it and then zoomed in like slow mode it. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. So I tried to play it off at the beginning of the episode, but last week, if you guys didn't check it out, I misjudged how close my can was to the glass and poured beer directly on a brand new mechanical keyboard that I paid some good money for. And it was just disaster. It was absolute disaster. And I tried to play it off at the beginning of the episode and came back later in the episode to say, like, just an update. The keyboard is not functioning properly now. I guess we can talk about it in the tech news. I'll save it for the tech news. That's kind of a tech newsy sort of thing. I'll give you guys an update on where that stands. But for right now, what I'm drinking tonight is a beer from O'Connor Brewing. It's called Good Vibes. And this is another one of those fruity beers. This is actually a Gose, which is not something that I typically go for, but this came in like one of those variety packs. Actually, my wife ordered this for me. She's always looking out for me. She's always getting me the good hookups. She ordered this from O'Connor, which is a Norfolk brewery.
Nice.
And it's a pineapple, orange, and guava Gose. So I'm actually going to read the description here for you guys because I thought it was pretty awesome. Let me find that really
Michael,
quick.
if you're watching,
it's
sorry.
flavors. That's how you get yourself in trouble, sir. You might want to watch.
I know.
Flavors of pineapple, orange, and guava harmoniously collide in this new age take on an old world Gose style, creating an inner body experience that's truly satisfying. We procured the Atlantic Coast sea salt from our friends at Hatteras Sea Salt Works to craft this slightly salty, sour delight. So again, definitely not something that I typically go for with a Gose, but I will tell you, this is definitely one of my most favorite Goses that I have actually tried. And I've actually recommended this to you already before this show because I'm like, dude, this is your style. You need to find this. So let me back up from my keyboard here and make sure I judge the distance here properly.
Nice and
I'm
slow.
going to go ahead and pour this out.
Concentrated. There it is. Nice. Look at that. We're almost there. Almost there. Wow. Yeah, dude, that looks nice.
Yes. So go ahead
Yum.
and take a look at that. Let me make sure I'm getting it on stream here. It's very thick. The lighting in this room is a little bit funky, so it's not quite as pale as it might look on the stream right now. It's got a very nice orange color to it. It's like it has a really good mouthfeel, I would say. It's not like thick, but it's very smooth.
Look at the head on that thing, man. Those
I know the
bubbles
head
look
just
very close together, very uniform bubbles. That almost looks
it
like a
sticks
nitro to
around.
me when you poured that.
It's so good, man. I wish I could. I can't quite describe it in words. I need to get better at that, but extremely refreshing, easy to drink, and I've had this when I'm outside in the sun, and it's just
Nice.
it's almost like a cocktail in a glass, to be honest with you. But
Wow.
highly recommend that. So if you're in the Norfolk area, or if you can find this one, I think O'Connor actually distributes
They
around the East
distribute.
Coast.
Yep. I've
Yeah,
seen them up here.
so you should definitely take a look and make sure you can find this one.
All right, dude. Let's
So,
hit the
cheers.
cheers out on the stream. Hold your bottle up
Cheers
too,
to
man.
you.
Let's
Oh
get
yeah, let
this
me get some
going.
bottle action. Get a nice still for the gram. Do it for the gram.
You know it, dude. Do it for the gram. There it is. Woo! Yeah. Love it. Love it. Cheers, dude.
Yes. Yes. Cheers, man. What about you guys out in the stream? Anybody out there listening to us? What are you guys drinking tonight? Are you having any delicious craft brews? If so, make sure you let us know on YouTube, in the comments down here, or also on Instagram. We're always looking out for new stuff. And feel free to send us some recommendations that we can try on the next stream.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have one little bit of beer news, real quick. So the 2020 Great American Beer Festival's canceled. The in-person version of it is canceled this year, and it's going to be online now. Online, and so typically it was set to be in Denver at the Colorado Convention Center from September 24th to 26th. It is now going to be virtual. And that event is October 16th to 17th, which, in my opinion, is actually kind of cool, right? Because I'll be able to like tune in. There's no way that I could fly out to Denver, and I never have.
Yeah.
But it gives me the opportunity to actually participate if I wanted to. So, what are your thoughts on that? You think you'd be tuning in?
I mean, why not? If it's free? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what this beer festival is really about, honestly, in a normal year, but it's just like the way of all events right now going to online, all these tech events and everything else. So I'm not surprised to see that it's happening. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I would imagine at a beer festival you'd have like tastings and things like that. So I'm not really sure how they handle something in that regard, but I mean, why not? I definitely would be interested in
Yeah.
tuning in.
I guess just to learn the new stuff that's coming out. I know that it's one of the larger ones, if not the largest one. There was two other ones. The Craft Brewers Conference and also the Home Brewers Conference that transitioned to online as well this year. They're all kind of linked together, and it's just kind of unfortunate, with how things are going, because I would have loved to be there in person. I mean, that sounds way better.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the COVID stuff and now some of the states, I think all states have started kind of reopening in that sense. It is nice to see like some of the local breweries in my area. I'm not sure if you've seen any in your area, but some of the breweries in my area are starting to like slowly reopen. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Farmhouse. You guys know that by now. They are starting to reopen, and basically they have a huge outdoor area, and they've opened up picnic tables for people to come and sit at. And it's very restricted in that, only a certain number of people can be there. You have to make reservations ahead of time to get a table. And I think they have like one food truck on site where usually they have like two or three at a time, but they're slowly
Nice.
starting to kind of open back up. And it is kind of nice to see some of that normalcy resume. I actually found a survey earlier today. I didn't actually jot it down, but I was reading it. It was from early April, but it was talking about how many breweries actually said that their business could only sustain this type of activity for a few more weeks or a couple of months at most. And it was some crazy percentage. So hopefully things are looking up for the craft beer community.
Yeah.
The craft beer thing is such a, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but
There's
it's
a lot
become
of
so
risk.
popular.
And it's
Yeah,
popular, and the market is so oversaturated, right?
yeah. So it could spell disaster for a lot of people. So hopefully they're kind of seeing an upside here.
Yeah. Me personally, I haven't seen any. I know that a lot of the breweries around here were allowing people to come and pick it up, like curbside pickup for a while. I think things are still pretty shut down though. My part of the state got hit pretty hard, so we're a little bit more hesitant to reopen. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, hopefully soon though.
Yes, absolutely.
So, sir, I think
All
that's it
right.
for our beer segment. You ready to talk about some tech news?
Oh yeah, tech time.
All right,
Let's do
transition
it.
time. Be right back. Wait. Let's do the Let's do the hand camera thing. Ready?
All
Let's
right,
do it.
count us down.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Whoa.
Oh, what happened?
Hey.
We're back.
Hey, we're back. Hey guys. What's
Oh,
going
just
on?
just
Where'd we
checking some
go?
things out. No big deal.
Yeah, I think my shoelace was unzipped.
I'm not wearing shoes. I was
Yeah,
checking
me
my
either.
socks for sock
Holes?
things.
Yeah, just making. Okay.
No.
Anyways,
Anyways, welcome to the next Welcome to Tech News segment.
little tech news. Here we go.
Yes, absolutely. So honestly, it's kind of a quiet week in the tech world. I'm trying to stay like pretty up to speed with everything going on in the industry, and it was kind of a slow week. But I did see some interesting rumors that I wanted to get your opinion on. You remember Google Glass? Do you remember that back in I mean, it had to be 2013, 14 maybe, Google Glass. Do you remember that?
Google Glass.
So is
I
these frames, so Google made, they never really came, I mean, they did actually come to
Oh,
consumers
AR
eventually.
AR frames. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Right.
called Google Glass, and at first they were made specifically for developers, and then some businesses were able to get their hands on them. But then eventually they came to the consumer world, and if you had like $2,000, I think you could buy a pair of these little frames. I actually got to try them out because somebody that I worked with got a pair of them, and they had like this weird little prism thing in the corner, top right hand corner of your right eyeball, and it basically just in your peripheral vision you could see different like notifications or different I guess like HUD style information, like the time you had a camera built in. It was a major flop. I guess probably just wasn't the right time. The technology wasn't quite there for it. But there are
Yeah.
rumors now, and these have been circulating for a while now, but it seems like they're a little bit close to being confirmed. Apple Glass is a thing that's coming out, presumably at the end of 2021 or beginning of 2022. So, unlike Google Glass, the rumors suggest that it will be a little bit more affordable. It's not going to be $1,000, $2,000. It's going to start at $499, which a lot of people are still going to think that's unreal. But for this sort of brand new technology and this foray into that category, that's actually not that expensive.
Yeah.
This article that I was reading, which was from Mac Rumors, says that there will be displays in both lenses that are be interacted via gesture. And I'm assuming the gestures would be on the frames of the glasses. Um, there's not really details on what specifically that user interface would include. But the rumors do also suggest that it would need to be paired to an iPhone to be functional. So unlike the Apple
Okay.
Watch, the newest Apple Watches, which have LTE functionality, and you can go out for a jog or whatever just with your watch and still get your text messages, it sounds like this is going to need to be paired to a phone. So I'm interested from you, the beard. What do you think about smart glasses? Do you think that's a thing we need? Being a person who wears glasses every day, do you need displays in your glasses?
Interesting that you ask that. I actually do know a little bit more about the AR goggles. I didn't realize that that's what we were going to be talking about. I actually have something that I'm going to be bringing up very soon as a part of the tech segment here. To answer your question though, yeah, I think it would be awesome. I think it would be great to just have some type of information. I don't know, step tracker. What I don't know what direction you're facing, like modular stuff, text messages. I don't really care so much about the text messages, but like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things that I think would be very useful. But it just opens up like so many crazy possibilities that like think about like back in high school. Like imagine if you had tech classes and you're like taking a test. It's like you don't have to write on a piece of paper. You just like got the cheat sheet. Come on now. All right. I don't know.
As long as the teachers don't know about this stuff.
Yeah, and then as far as the price point goes, okay, so $4.99 I think like makes sense to me. Like think about when they first came out with the iPhone, right? Or like the what was it, the chocolate or whatever? It was like $500 or something like that. So, based on inflation, I mean, honestly, the value is probably less than what those would have been back then. So I think that's fair, and really a pair of a head-mounted display like Oculus or something along those lines is going to cost you more than that or around that number anyway. So,
Right.
I think it's pretty cool, man. What do you think?
I think it's easier. I mean, so we're talking, just so you guys know, I mean, I pulled up a picture here. Maybe I should try sharing my screen with you to see if, I mean, this is obviously just a concept. Let me share my screen with you really quick.
Okay.
Hopefully this works on my like pseudo Wi-Fi internet connection here and doesn't screw things up, but
I'm not going to be able to blow it up. I just realized.
Oh no. Okay.
Actually, hold on. Let me try something real quick.
Okay. Live TV, folks. This is live TV.
Live TV. Gotta love it. We'll take this out in post, I guess. Oh no, we're good. We're good.
Leave it in.
Okay, we're good.
Cool.
I'm transitioning over to you now so they can see it.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, obviously this is just a concept. I mean, in the technology world, if you guys don't follow the technology world very closely, when devices start to get they'll start making predictions about new devices like a couple of years out, just based on like patents that different companies file. So if Apple files a patent or Samsung files a patent for some new technology, they just automatically begin speculating on what a device will look like. So what you're seeing on this image here is just a render, probably some kind of concept. But this is just to paint a picture for you guys. This is literally just regular glasses like you would normally see, but some sort of projection onto the glass that makes it, a display for your eyeball. And then
Cool.
the frames here on the right, obviously, would probably be what is gesture controlled. So you could swipe forward or backwards or tap on it and do whatever to interact with the display. So my standpoint is, unless you're a person who wears glasses every day already, this is going to be something that's going to be hard for you to get into. It's just like if you've never worn a watch in your life, and I used to be this person. I used to never wear a watch, but then, I thought like a watch was cool, and I put it on, and like you just feel weird wearing it sometimes, right? So for the glasses thing, like for me, I would just feel weird wearing glasses around because I've never worn glasses in my life. So I think that's the number one hurdle for people, is to get comfortable just looking different.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to like the actual use case of it, to your point, I could see it being beneficial from like let me figure out, which, do I turn left here? Do I turn right here? How many steps have I taken? Maybe a text message notification pop up. So I do think there's some use case there, but also, do we need this really? Like, have we gotten to that point in society where like I need to know, I have no choice but to see a notification come through on my phone, right? Like if I'm busy at work, I can just turn my phone over and I don't see the notifications come through. But if you're wearing these glasses all day, you have no choice but to look at that notification. So I don't know.
I want to input on that real quick.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the value add, right? Notifications, that's annoying. Advertisements, that's annoying. What I think people would use them for, I'm going to transition us back, by the way.
Yep, let's do it.
And so what I think is more useful would be if you look at an apple, piece of fruit, and it tells you how many calories it is. It tells you the nutritional value, right? If you look at a monument, you have a choice to like click something and it gives you like an update of what it is. You look at a car, and then it like brings up different like stats on that car. Like that type of stuff I think would be like very useful, where it's like, it's basically like your brain on steroids, where, you look at things, and then you could, at the tap of the side of your glasses, have details, information that that you don't readily know. And then think about more, even more specific. Imagine if you're a doctor in the surgery room, performing surgery, and this is probably way far off, like as far as how advanced it's right now, but you're performing surgery, and it's like drawing lines on what you need to do, and like showing you what you need to do, like step by step. I don't know. I might have gone too far.
I'm just imagining like some guy. It's like, the surgeon called out sick today. So, Reese, you're up. All right, put these glasses on. Cut here. Okay. Okay. Remove this. Okay. Pull that out.
But think about, like, if you're in, like, I don't know, emergency situation, and like you need to perform CPR, like, I don't know, just something along those lines.
I'm picturing, like, if you've ever put together a bookshelf from IKEA, it's like these little blob men, like, it's like the most horrible instructions. It's like, okay, twist this. Oh wait, you have to flip it upside down. I have to go grab another person.
There's like 3 circles off to the side with like
this
big
makes
X's
no sense.
through them. Don't do these X's. Don't cut here.
And then you get to a part where like inevitably you're missing a piece. So like,
where do we go from here? I don't know.
I don't see the heart. Where's the heart? What did you guys do with
the manual on my glasses says there's a heart. Where is it? I don't get it.
Because the heart in the picture is shaped like this. It's like an actual heart. It's like, but you open the chest, you're just like, I don't see that anywhere.
It says there's supposed to be valves here. I don't see any valves.
Oh,
just looks like anyway. All right.
Reese, you missed a step. You forgot step 2. Oh, you're supposed to disconnect the aorta first.
Let me go back. Hold on. Tapping your glass to go back. Man. Oh gosh. All right. So, good. Yeah, that was fun. So I want to actually use that to segue into this next part, right? So,
okay.
Oculus Quest hand tracking gets a full release. Okay. So going off of the AR stuff, right? Usually, when you're using your head-mounted display with virtual reality, you have to use a controller. So now, you don't need a controller, okay? It's all hand movement. It recognizes where your hands go. So imagine that with the AR glasses on.
Yeah.
The hand gestures, you touched on hand gestures. I mean, it could literally, you could just make, sign language with your hand, and, that'll tell your glasses kind of what to do. I mean, I think that would be fantastic. So on May 28th, Facebook's going to start accepting store submissions, for people to add hand tracking apps to their store. So here's the start of it, man. This is it. I think now it's probably going to start kicking off this year. And so Facebook's going to launch a cinematic narrative set that will feature enabled. With the feature enabled in Colin Farrell's voiced Gloomy Eyes, which is about a zombie kid and a mortal girl falling in love. So this is going to be like it's going to be like a journey where you can use hand tracking to like trigger events and whatnot. And then there's another one. It's called The Line. It's portrays a world. It's called The Line. And it portrays a world of miniatures where routine is paramount and everything is always the same until it's not. So you're probably just going to be moving things around with your hands and interacting in this head-mounted display space. And I'm going to take you one step further than that. What are your thoughts on that, first off, though?
I mean, I'm interested in seeing what they do with it. I think I haven't gotten into VR yet, so I don't have very limited opinions on it because I've never actually experienced it. And I'm actually kind of glad that I haven't yet. I kind of want to wait until the technology is like really far along, so that way my first experience is just like insane. But I'm also kind of worried that like it's going to be so good that I don't want to play anything except for VR. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's further along than you think it is already. I think.
That's what I kind of get. I kind of get that sense, but I think hand tracking is where they definitely should go. And something that you talked about a couple episodes ago, where it's like it's the little shoe things that you can walk around on. They have like the wheels that, so you're literally moving your feet at that point, using your hands. I think at that point, the only thing they're really missing is just like the tactile feedback of like actually holding something, to make it even more immersive. But it's pretty amazing. I love to keep up with what they're doing and how they're implementing it in some of these games.
They're almost there. And so you got to stop over sometime and just try it on. Looking at it on a flat screen does not justify what it's like when you actually have a head-mounted display on, and you're actually moving around and how it feels. So I want to show a video real quick, and this is the last thing related to VR, and then we can move on. So Facebook has showcased a floating windows concept for a VR workspace. So think about that. A VR workspace with a color pass-through. Right now there's a beta version, which I've tried out, where it's a black and white pass-through, so that you can see everything around you, but you can have like a ton of different windows up all around you with like videos and spreadsheets and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show this video real quick, just so that you can get an idea of what we're talking about here. It's a very, very short video. It's 8 seconds long, so if you blink, you'll miss it.
Don't blink.
Don't blink. All right, so let me pull this up in full screen mode. You guys should be able to see it right now. Before I hit play, you can kind of see that it's all curved. They're inside the head-mounted display. This is what the screens would look like. They're just kind of floating. So let's just go hit play. So you can see that he's used his hands now. These hands that you see on screen are artificial. Those are not his hands.
That's so creepy.
Yep. So you can see he's moved that screen. He pinched it, and he moved it over there, and he's placing it, and now he's typing. He's typing in the air, basically, on his little keypad, and it's registering. And you can see he has a little utility bar here. Go forward a little bit. It recognizes his hands in real space, and you can see that this is his office around him. There's his real monitor, but he also has these monitors back here. He's got his file folder. He's got some kind of social networking space here. He's got some coding space here. So just imagine, man, 10 years from now. Let me transition back. You might not be sitting at a desk, right? You might be standing at a desk with a head-mounted display on with 50 different screens up all around you doing all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, I could definitely see that future. I'm always looking for ways to be like more productive at work. It's been a little bit weird lately having to be working from home and, having little children running around the place. But if you could like put a headset on and have like all these windows up at the same time, and just be able to grab stuff and move things around, like that would just be amazing. And you'd be fully immersed. Like if you had like some, noise canceling headphones on as well, and just like blocking out your entire office space and just being in the zone and getting stuff done. Like that sounds like the perfect world to me.
Yeah. For a work environment, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
yeah.
That was my updates on the tech world. Some pretty cool stuff, man. All kind of linked together, cool. Too.
I think the moral of the story is I need to come try VR out the next time that we're visiting you guys, or vice versa. I don't know if my machine could power VR, but we could try. I think it couldn't hurt to try.
We could definitely take a shot at it, but yeah, I mean, if yours doesn't work, as long as you're standing here, I got a bunch of different games, dude. I'd love to have you try it.
Let's do it.
All right, man. So I think it's time to transition. Let's talk about UFC.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Do the hand thing again. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Hit him with the hand thing. Release. And we're back.
Wow.
We're back again. Hello, everyone.
What do you guys think about that movie Magic?
We gotta work on that.
Serious. Well, we're working on the transition, guys. Okay, so let's just bear with us here.
We'll get there. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Anyway. All right, man. Hit me with that UFC shenanigans, man.
UFC time. Oh, man. So our last big event was UFC 249. We all know how that went down. Justin Gaethje taking out Tony Ferguson. But we've had a couple of fight nights since then. The most recent one being this last Saturday, Alistair Overeem versus Walt Harris. Kind of mixed emotions for me on this one. Were you able to catch this fight? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did watch it. It's sad, knowing the backstory behind it. Walt Harris recently lost his daughter in a tragic. It
was a murder.
It was a murder. It was a murder. He took some time off to deal with it, and he came back, and this was going to be his redemption fight.
His big comeback moment.
Maybe not redemption, but his return fight where he was going to honor his daughter and whatnot, and it just didn't go his way. You know? So.
Yeah, it's definitely, that was a tough one to kind of watch, but at the end of it, he, in his post-fight interview, he actually did remain positive and kind of vowed to continue fighting for Anaya, which is really cool to see. I wonder how Alistair feels about it. He knocked him out in the second round, I believe. It's probably hard for him to do that.
It was a TKO, right? So we shouldn't say knockout. I mean,
was it a stoppage?
It was a stoppage. So I mean, honestly, Walt Harris had him damaged, man. He was down. He hit him. He clipped him. Hit him twice. Alistair was damaged, man. He almost put him away. He wasted a lot of energy trying to put him away. And I got to say, not Herb Dean. The big man. What's his name?
Was it Mike Birbiglia or?
I can't remember his name. The bald guy with the goatee.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
It's Mike Birbiglia. Not Birbiglia.
No, it's Mergliotta. Dan Mergliotta.
Dan Mergliotta. Sorry, Mike Birbiglia is a comedian.
Mike Birbiglio. Shout out to Mike Birbiglio.
Yeah. Dan Mergliotta. Same sort of cadence to the name.
Mergliotta was just letting it go, man. He was letting it go both of the ways that it went too. So in the first half of the first round, Walt was doing great. The second half, Dan let it go, and Alistair was just pummeling him. And the second round was, at that point, I just think Walt Harris was out of shape, really tired, didn't have a lot in the tank, and it just didn't go well for him. But to your point about how Alistair felt about it, I watched the post-fight interviews, and Alistair was, he was like, Walt went through some tragedy. That's fine, but I have to understand that this is the fight business, and I don't feel bad about what happened in the ring at all. It's the fight business. I'm just there to do my job. I told him after the fight that we should train together and work together to get better. But I don't feel bad about how the fight went. And it's like, okay, I guess I can respect that
fair enough.
A little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it is their job at the end of the day. We heard that last week when we saw Anthony Smith, getting beat up on the ground, and they kind of were Glover Teixeira was basically like, "Sorry, Anthony, kind of have to do this," and he's like, "It is what it is." You can hear him talking in the ring, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit upsetting, but I hope that he comes back, and he is fun to watch fight. So best wishes for him for sure. But on another note, we've got another fight night coming up on May 30th. We've got a big ESPN event coming up, UFC 250. But before then, we've got a fight night next weekend, which is the card was actually just announced today, the full card. But our main event for the fight is Tyron Woodley coming back to face off with Gilbert Burns, a welterweight matchup. So it's been over a year since Tyron Woodley last fought, which, if you guys remember, was a loss to Kamaru Usman, where Usman essentially just mopped the floor with Tyron Woodley. I mean, it looked like Tyron wasn't even awake. So that was interesting, but Tyron Woodley still remains the number one contender in that division, and I believe Gilbert Burns is maybe number 6, if I'm remembering correctly. He's actually on a 3-fight win streak. So Gilbert Burns, he's a pretty explosive fighter, if I remember correctly. And he actually just recently beat Damian Maia. So that could be an interesting one. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know a whole lot about Gilbert Burns. I think I've seen him fight once. So I'm gonna talk on the other side of the equation with Tyron Woodley.
Yep.
You know, I feel like Tyron Woodley's last probably 4 fights, they were just so lackluster, man. And
Yeah.
he didn't offer like anything. The 3 fights before he lost to Usman, they were just slow, lackluster. He wasn't doing anything, you know. So it's
Yeah.
like, if he's not gonna bring the fighting, if he's not gonna fight for something that he wants, right? If he doesn't have that drive anymore, I mean, dude, he's probably gonna lose. And I mean, he's so spread thin. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes all the difference. Like you can 100% tell when a fighter's got their heart in it, and when they're coming out there and giving it all they've got. And between that and versus someone who's basically just there for the paycheck. And to me, when that last fight against Kamaru Usman, it looked like he's just there for the paycheck. And a lot of people have speculated that he's got other things going on. He's got his TMZ career. He had some sort of a weird hopes for a rap career, I guess. And some people speculate that he's just not in it for the right reasons, but we'll see. I mean, he's, like I said, still the number 1 contender, so maybe he's got a new spark and wants to get that belt. So we'll see how it goes. But Gilbert looks like he's on a pretty good tear right now. So I think a few knockouts under his belt recently. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't really like T. Woodley, man. Honestly, I've lost respect for that guy after, you know, the last 4 fights that he had. He just didn't just looked like he was trying to hold on, you know, wasn't really doing anything. So
yeah, but they will be actually having this fight. The last few fights have been in Florida, like they mentioned they would be, but Nevada's actually opening back up some of their sporting event, I guess, support. And they're now going to be having this event at the Apex facility in Las Vegas, which is actually where they filmed the Dana White Contender Series, which cool. I believe is the same place they do the Ultimate Fighter
I think you're
competition
right,
as well. So very small, not a giant arena, very small the octagon, you know, facility. That'll be interesting to see. I mean, from a production standpoint, what that looks like.
And I feel like it's probably going to save them a little bit of money, right? Because when they go to those big arenas, it's like they got to pay for those, I think, up front to be.
Which is
there.
very interesting. Very interesting. I actually was listening to Rogan's podcast, and somebody on his show was mentioning, like, why even go to these big arenas when you know no one's going to be in the crowd?
Right.
And I think it's really just probably for production value. I mean, you know, you have these giant overhead shots of the octagon, and you still have the lights, and you've got Bruce Buffer making these announcements on the loudspeakers and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. So it will be interesting to see, like, what does the production look like from this facility.
Oh, the diehard fans are still going to watch it, right? And they should probably cater. They should probably be catering to their diehard fans that are going to, you know, go for it. Anyway.
Absolutely.
So John Jones and Francis, man. I know you've been following it. I've followed it a little bit.
Yeah.
We got some updates, but why don't you take us through the chain of events that has happened recently?
Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to follow, but if you guys out there could think of like one dream fight, I mean, what would it be? This to me is almost like a dream fight. John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. I don't know why it seems so like out of this world, because John Jones, you know, he's not that far off from heavyweight. He's been talking about going to heavyweight anyways. You know, but for some reason, you got 2 superstars, Francis Ngannou, who's basically inhuman, John Jones, who's quote unquote undefeated, and untouchable. It seems like are definitely in talks to make a fight. I think the latest news, just to kind of skip to the punch here, is that the UFC isn't willing to pay John Jones what he wants to make in order to have this fight. Right. But hopefully, I mean, that's definitely something that could be resolved and it could change any day, you know, because this is a fight that would bring in a ton of money.
Oh, yeah. But, like, during the negotiations, he threatened to walk away and, like, posted on Twitter. There was, like, 5 or 6 Twitter posts, and he was basically saying, all right, guys, that's it. See you later. But then
Yeah.
he came back shortly after that and was like, "Hey, now that I'm not as emotional, blah 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 blah." So I don't think John Jones is going anywhere. I just don't think that they're willing to like pay that kind of money during this time
Right.
for this type of super fight. So maybe it'll happen next year when things have cleared up and UFC's raking in a lot more money. Fingers crossed, man. I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's basically been like a big Twitter beef between these two superstars, and both of them obviously talking about why they'd beat the other one. And John Jones feels pretty confident in his fighter IQ that he would take this fight, and also in his stamina and longevity within his 5 round. He's got so much experience with 5 rounds. But obviously, we saw what happened with the last Ngannou fight. He just explodes and can take you out with one wild punch. And in the last few fights, John Jones hasn't really shown up a lot. I mean, he's won all of his last few fights on decision. Some of them kind
decision.
of, yeah, like I said, arguable decisions. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, what do you think? Who do you think would take that fight if it happened tomorrow?
John Jones has never been knocked out. He's been hit hard, man, by some people. Yeah. Of course, he's never, fought a guy that hits as hard as Francis Ngannou, but I think if Stipe could do it, I think John Jones could do it, right? Just playing the game. Francis Ngannou is kind of just like a loose cannon where he's like a bull. You'll release him out of the gates and he's just running wild and then he's going to get tired. I don't think that he's got the technical background to deal with John Jones. If John Jones takes him to the ground, I mean, it's going to be the same thing with Stipe. So, John Jones might even have a better chance with the stand-up. I don't know. I'd still give it to Jones.
Yeah, I think when I picture it in my head, all I imagine is, Ngannou just closing the distance enough just to lay a few bombs on him and just drops him. But I don't know. I mean, I would love to watch it. That's just the bottom line. I would love to watch it.
I would love to see John Jones get knocked out because, frankly, I think he's lost his last 2 fights, and I would like to see him lose one just because I feel like he's only been winning because he's the champ. That's how I feel.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of super fights, I guess we got some news about Valentina Shevchenko, right?
Yeah. So Weili Zhang is saying that she wants to expand and pull a Nunes and go fight Shevchenko for another title, right? So
I'd love to see that.
I would love to see that, dude. But before I see that, I want to see her fight Rose Namajunas because I still need that. I still need that question answered. Rose Namajunas needs to win her next fight and go fight Zhang because I still think Rose is better than anybody else in that division. But Zhang versus Shevchenko, that's a whole nother story, man. I would love to see that fight too, dude. I think that would be another barn burner. Be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love watching Shevchenko fight. She's so technical, so fast, just a lot of fun. And that's a person, you can tell her heart's in the right place, and she's giving it everything she's got in there, and she's trained for this her entire life, and she's just exciting to watch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fight IQ is amazing.
So let's make those fights happen, please. Please, Dana, please. Please, Uncle Dana.
Please, Dana, help me. All right, dude. You ready to hit our next section? Close this.
Yes, let's go
out?
to our next and final section.
All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Was it any better?
Did we do better that time? I think we did a little bit better. We got to get our timing right, but
this is way harder. It's way harder than it looks out there, okay?
Yeah, guys.
I know we make this look easy, but it's not.
It's not. Anyway, so dude, Epic Game Store, man, hit us with another doozy. What was it?
Dropping the bombs. This week, Civilization 6 is now the free game this week for Epic Games. And I actually didn't even look and see what this game normally costs. But another major title.
$60, dude. This is the biggest title that they've. This is the bigger than GTA 5. In fact, because GTA 5 it's like, GTA 5 is like 8 years old now. It's $30. Civilization Civ 6 came out. I know neither of us can talk. Anyway, it just came out recently, man. Relatively recently, within like the past year or two. So it's a $60 value. I mean, how crazy is that?
You want $60? You want free $60? Do you want $60 for free? Go download this game. You got $60 in your pocket. You just saved yourself $60.
I could use $60. Yeah, I think I will.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. And then on top of that, they still have the epic sale going for the rest of this month, up to June 11th. Guys, Epic Game Store, they want you. They need you. You want them. You want them. Go be with them. Okay, up to 75% off on games, including Assassin's Creed Origins, Rainbow Six Siege, Borderlands 3, Hob. Don't discount Hob, guys. Don't you tell me about my Hob.
Never heard about Hob.
It's a little platformer, cute little platformer game. Very atmospheric. Yeah. It's nice.
Cool.
Watch Dogs. Cool. And last but certainly not least, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We're talking 20, 40, up to 75% off these amazing games. Guys.
Epic.
We're not sponsored.
It's so epic.
We're not sponsored. We just love free stuff and discounts. Doesn't everyone?
We're just looking out for you. We're just looking out for the little guys.
Yeah. Just
Epic's looking out for the little guys.
Epic's looking out for them, and then we're just leading you to Epic. That's all there is to it.
Yes.
We're just trying to help.
Go there. Go there.
Just go. Just do it. So on top of that, Beat Saber, another VR game. They're getting 40 new free beat maps next week. So if you guys have a head-mounted display, you guys play some VR games, go ahead and check Beat Saber out. I will be too. I haven't played it yet, but it's the most popular VR game out there.
Yeah, that's one that I would love to play. I've just basically heard so many people in the VR community talk about that game, and I've watched videos on it. That looks like so much fun and also a great workout.
Oh, definitely. VR's got some great workout options, especially during times like this. I have one. It's called Box VR. You do like a 30-minute boxing exercise. Oh yeah, I'm sweating after that. It's nice.
Yes.
Anyway, and my last but not least, again, Minecraft Dungeons, right? So everybody knows about Minecraft, how could you not know about Minecraft? They've now come out with a Diablo-esque type action RPG with the block style, but it's a top-down isometric viewpoint, and you're going around killing lava monsters and giant bosses, and it's right up my alley. But for me personally. Yeah, slay 'em, knock them down, and but me personally, I'm not sure I can get past the graphics on that. It's too cartoony for me, but to each their own. Just wanted to throw that out there, guys. That's probably a popular one. A lot of people are going to be playing it. Maybe you guys would like to try that as well. You think you'd ever play something like that?
I don't know. I mean, is it like traditional Minecraft? I've watched you play Minecraft in your stream one time, and I just don't think I could get into it. I think it's just too. I don't know. I feel like I have to dedicate way too much time
it's not
to a game like that.
At all. Do you remember playing Path of Exile?
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine Path of Exile, but simpler, much simpler, with Minecraft graphics.
Yeah, the graphics would be hard to get past.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I think it's for a younger generation, or people that have probably played it a lot more before, but whatever, to each their own. So buddy, you want to close us out?
I think we should. That was a great episode, and I forgot actually to give an update on my keyboard. I realized in the tech news segment. So really quick, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, because I've been posting kind of progress updates on the keyboard situation. It does seem like the keyboard is going to make a full recovery. I tested all the switches, all of them register. So the only issue now is that where I poured the beer, those switches are still sticking a little bit. The sugary contents of the beer are still causing sticking even after disassembling it and squirting like hot water into the switches, which was a terrible, scary feeling for me. But apparently, if you disconnect the battery from it, it's safe as long as you wait for it to dry out completely before you power it back up. So I let it dry for a few days, and then the switches are still sticking. So my next move is to inject some isopropyl alcohol in there and see if that helps get rid of the sugar contents and alleviates that sticking. If not, then we'll go the nuclear route, which is to order some new switches, depending on how much they cost, and desolder and then resolder new switches in. But if the switches cost too much, then I may as well just buy a new keyboard, save myself the heartache, because at the end of the day, it's not that expensive. But it is a bummer. So anyways, follow us on follow us on Instagram to check out the progress of that.
Wow, dude. You are learning a lot about keyboards, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun.
The insides and working them and all that.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. I mean, I actually reached out to the community that, like the Keychron community, that's the manufacturer of the keyboard. And some people were like sending me links to videos of Linus Tech Tips putting keyboards in dishwashers. Like this to me, I was like, what?
Wow.
Hold up, you're joking, right? But no, he put keyboards fully assembled into a dishwasher, ran them, and then let them dry out for a couple of weeks, and they worked perfectly normal. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that, but since it is just a few switches, but we'll see. You never know.
Well, they sound pretty durable, so I'm wishing you the best, dude. I think you can do it.
Any updates on the shipping of your new keyboard?
No, still delayed. No updates since the last time. So guys, I ordered a keyboard. Oh gosh, it was 2 weeks ago now. It was supposed to get here at the beginning of June. The shipping date has got pushed to the end of June, and I will probably not be receiving it until beginning of July. It's a Ducky Mini with blue cherry switches, and it's a 60% keyboard, so no numpad, no function keys. Very, very compact, small keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Very excited. Metal frame on it. The PBJ keys,
PBT.
So PBT, sorry, PBT.
PBJ.
PB&J. Yeah, I guess I'm hungry.
Peanut butter and jelly keys.
The PBJ keys. Oh no, I need to go eat something.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's too funny.
Yeah, that's great. So that brings it into our podcast section. Guys, make sure to come follow us on Twitter. Check us out. Give us a sub on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram as well. We love all of the support. We love seeing you guys coming and checking us out. We would love to engage with you guys more. So let us know. What's your favorite beer? What's some new tech news? What games are you playing? Who do you want to win in these next fights? Okay? Let's get this together. I'm very excited. I'm pretty sure you are too, AJ.
I'm so excited, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic long weekend, and we will see you next Friday.
Yes. Happy Memorial Day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.